On Monday morning, November 18, 2025, armed bandits invaded the government girls' comprehensive secondary school in Maga town, Danko Wasagu local government area of Kebbi state. What followed was a tragedy that would shake Nigeria once again and expose disturbing failures in the country's security system. The attack did not come as a surprise to everyone. In fact, residents of Maga had been on high alert since Sunday after hearing reports that bandits were attacking and kidnapping people in nearby villages. The danger was real and people knew it. Security forces had even been stationed at the school. On Sunday night, soldiers were present, interacting with students and taking photographs with them. They stayed until 2 a.m. on Monday morning. Then, for reasons that remain unclear, they left. Around 3:30 a.m., residents heard the first gunshots. A local man named Malam Abdullahi later explained that people thought it was just vigilantes patrolling the area. Nobody realized the true danger until about 4:30 a.m. when the sound of heavy gunfire filled the air. People began running out of the school compound, screaming that bandits had entered. The attackers came on motorcycles armed with sophisticated weapons. They scaled the perimeter fence surrounding the school and immediately engaged the police personnel on duty in a fierce gun battle. Despite the resistance, the gunmen pushed forward with strong determination. They had a plan and they executed it with chilling precision. The gunmen first targeted the staff quarters where the teachers lived. This was a strategic move designed to remove any authority figures who might organize resistance or protect the students. Among those living in the staff quarters was Hassan Makuku, identified as the school's vice principal or chief security official. When the armed men burst into his home around 3:30 a.m., Makuku and his wife were sleeping. His wife, Amina Hassan, thought it was animals disturbing them at first. But when the gunmen broke down their door and entered, the nightmare became real. The attackers asked Makuku if he was the chief security officer of the school. When he confirmed that indeed he was, they told him that today was his last day. Makuku, knowing what was about to happen, made one final request. He asked if he could sit down before they killed him. The bandits allowed it, and as the vice principal sat down, they shot him in the chest, eliminating him right in front of his wife. But the horror did not end there. After murdering Makuku, the bandits tried to force his wife to lead them to the students' hostel. She struggled with them and refused to go, telling them she would not cooperate now that they had killed the father of her children. In the chaos, her daughter came out from the bedroom. The armed men grabbed the daughter at gunpoint and forced her to show them where the students were sleeping. With the daughter leading the way under the threat of death, the bandits moved toward the girls' hostel. When they arrived and saw the students, they released the girl, allowing her to escape. But the nightmare was just beginning for the 25 female students they found inside the hostel. The school security guard, Ali Shehu, tried to stop the attackers. He was shot and seriously injured. Shehu, who had a granddaughter and great-granddaughter at the school, would later die from his gunshot wounds in the hospital. Both his granddaughter and great-granddaughter were among those kidnapped, leaving his family devastated beyond words. Inside the hostel, panic erupted. The girls were sleeping when the armed men burst in, firing their weapons and shouting commands. Some students tried to hide. One father later recounted how his two daughters hid in the toilet when the bandits invaded. The armed men ordered everyone hiding to come out or they would be killed. Terrified, one of his daughters came out and was taken, while the other remained hidden and survived. The bandits gathered at least 25 girls at gunpoint. These were young girls who had come to school to get an education, to build a future for themselves. The attackers marched the frightened girls out of the compound and into the surrounding bushes. They then led them into the forest, connecting to neighboring states, where they disappeared. By the time reinforcements arrived, the bandits were gone. 2 people lay dead: Hassan Makuku, the vice principal who died trying to protect his students, and Ali Shehu, the security guard whose own family members were among those abducted that morning. News of the attack spread quickly. Parents rushed to the school, desperate for information about their children. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu responded immediately to the crisis. He directed security and intelligence agencies to locate, rescue, and safely return the students. He ordered that the perpetrators must face justice. Then came a small miracle, as 2 of the kidnapped girls managed to escape. As their armed captors were leading them deeper into the bushes, the 2 girls saw their chance and ran. They fled across farmland while the bandits were distracted. One of them injured her leg during the escape and needed medical treatment, but the 2 girls made it to safety. Their escape may have brought hope to the other families still waiting for good news. With 23 girls presumed to still be in captivity, a massive rescue operation was launched. Soldiers, police, and local volunteers combed through the forested areas searching every suspected hideout and escape route. The operation involved both ground troops and air support. Every available resource was committed to finding the students. But tragedy struck again within 24 hours after the rescue mission was launched. As troops moved through the area searching for the kidnapped girls, they were ambushed by the same bandits that had taken the girls. The gunmen had set a trap, and soldiers walked right into it. In a video of the aftermath of the ambush that circulated online, several injured soldiers were seen lying on the ground, some unable to move. One victim could be heard speaking in Hausa language, saying that his colleague Musa had a bullet lodged in his leg and was in a very bad condition. The soldiers' operational vehicle was riddled with bullet holes. The men who had been sent to rescue the innocent students were now left fighting for their own lives. The governor of Kebbi State claimed that the state security services had provided credible intelligence that the school was likely to be attacked. Following this warning, the State Security Council had ordered round-the-clock protection for the institution. Security operatives had been deployed to guard the school, but according to the governor, those operatives abandoned their duty post shortly before the bandits attacked. He called this clear sabotage. A teacher who survived confirmed that heavily armed security personnel had spent Sunday night at the school. About 30 minutes after they withdrew, the kidnappers attacked. The governor was visibly angry, describing it as a betrayal that cost lives. President Tinubu showed concern for the situation by cancelling his scheduled attendance at a summit in order to focus on addressing the security crisis in the country. The incident drew widespread condemnation. The Senate observed a minute of silence for the victims and set up a committee to investigate the Safe School Initiative, which is a program meant to protect schools from attacks. For the families of the 23 girls still in captivity, every hour feels like an eternity. They remember the 2021 attack, where over 100 students were taken. In that tragedy, some girls were held for over 2 years, and there were reports of forced marriages to bandit leaders. The parents in Maga are probably haunted by these memories, wondering if their daughters will suffer the same fate. The attack on Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School in Maga is yet another painful chapter in Nigeria's decade-long school kidnapping crisis. Gunmen have repeatedly targeted schools in northern Nigeria, abducting students to demand ransom or make political demands. Despite government bans on paying ransoms and promises of better security, the attacks continue. The most troubling aspect of this tragedy is that it could have been prevented. Intelligence warnings were ignored, security forces left their posts, and when rescue came, even the soldiers were ambushed. If trained military personnel with weapons and vehicles can be attacked so easily, what protection do ordinary schoolgirls have? Since the attack, there have been no significant updates on the case. The 23 girls remain missing. The bandits who killed 2 school officials and ambushed rescue troops have not been caught. What are your thoughts on this case? Share your opinions in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel or page for more true crime stories.